Hi, everyone. It's Kelly Day. I'm here today with Nora Miller, one of my wonderful art mentees, and I want to share Nora's story with you to inspire you for your art. Welcome, Nora. Thank you so much for being here.
It's such an honor to be here, Kelly.
And Nora lives in Hawaii, and she is a gardener and has an acre and loves her flowers, and she loves painting her Hawaiian natural life around her. We just recently worked together. She's made an entire series of paintings and paints what she loves and now has a regular art practice that she loves. So let's jump in and find out her story. So, Nora, just start by telling us a little background about yourself.
I want to say, I feel like as many women, for most of my life, I have been a caregiver. Um, I've always had, ever since I can remember, this dream of doing art. But I had children when I was very young. I was 19 when I had my first child, and I was a single mother of two. Um, and during that time, I supported them by working in the medical field. I was an executive assistant um, for most of my career.
Mm.
And I never even thought of doing art. It was just like a dream that was, buried under the soil, sort of.
Aw.
And before I knew it, I was a grandmother, and I helped to babysit my young grandchildren. And at the same time, I was with my aging parents, and I stayed with them until they passed away. And but when
Mhm.
I was in my 40s, I did have the brief opportunity um, to work as a textile artist. And I did Hawaiian designs working with gouache,
Mm.
and I found out I really loved that job. And I started thinking how nice it would be to have time someday to do fine art.
Tell us where you are now. You've been very brave and you've been painting, really discovering yourself as an artist. Can you tell us a little bit about where you are now with your art?
Yes, I am actively painting and creating a series called My Volcano Garden. I am planning on having a small booth at the local farmers market next year. And
Nice.
so I'm painting and creating some inventory for that. I want to make
Mhm.
cards and small prints and stationery. And I also plan to expand into linoleum block printing.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
I discovered that I really love collage, so I want to throw some of that in too.
Yeah, for sure. And tell everyone about the series of paintings you've made. You've made like 20 paintings or so on Hawaiian life that you love, and you've done a large series as well.
Yes, that was, I think, a turning point for me because I had no idea how to paint large. And during the graduate course, we created three mini paintings, which was really fun.
Can you hold one up? I see you've got them right there.
Oh, yes.
Or hold a couple of them up. So these are her Hawaiian girl series. And you have another one as well. Just beautiful.
Yes.
On wood
Thank you.
blocks. Hmm.
Yes. And so this was something that's really fun, and I want to incorporate into the farmers market booth next year. And also, I was really scared to do the large series,
Hmm.
but you helped me through it and every step of the way. And after I made them, I was just so proud of them.
Okay, so Nora, before we started working together, you were not so confident and not finding what you wanted to paint. So tell us a little about where you were before we met.
I was at the point in my life where I was ready to do fine art. I had moved to the big island of Hawaii and settled in Volcano. And so I signed up for an online a fine art program,
Mhm.
but it was very rigid and technical. But I persevered and I worked at it for about 6 months, and then it didn't have any joy in it.
Wow.
I realized that it wasn't for me, and I completely stopped doing art. And
Wow.
it was quite depressing because I was stuck. I just didn't know how to move forward because I just knew that it I wasn't having any fun. So I was online. Well, I asked the universe, first of all, for help because I was that sort of desperate. And just I just was online one day and I found you. And your philosophy about art and joy resonated with me so much, Kelly,
Mm.
that after our first interview, I signed up immediately because I got so excited. Mhm.
So yeah, and it's so true, right? If you're not having joy in your art, you just stop painting. It happens to so many people. And if you don't have a practice you love, you're not going to keep going back into your studio, right?
That's exactly right. I didn't know how to proceed because I thought
Yeah.
that the fine art program was the end all, that it would teach me
Mm.
everything, but it
Mhm.
didn't teach joy, which I think
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
main reason for doing art.
Yeah, and you have to have joy and you have to have some successes. And I think that a lot of women, when they try to make their art and they're not having joy or successes, they tend to not go in their studio. If you're not going into your studio, you're not getting better, right, at painting. And people tend to start to think, oh, I just don't have time, or the excuses come. It's just what happens when you're not loving what you're doing. Anyway, I want to talk about your challenges. Because you're so wonderful about talking from your heart, and I think other women would really find confidence in hearing. What are some of your challenges along the way here in getting to this place and finding what really lights you up?
Okay, I had a lot of challenges. I had a serious lack of self-confidence. I did have a little bit of experience doing the commercial art, but doing fine art was a completely different skill set. And I wasn't sure if, I could do it. I wanted to develop my own style, and I didn't even know if that was something that I could do.
Mhm.
Um, I was very tight. I could draw technically,
Yeah.
but I was extremely tight. I thought I had to be perfect and make pretty paintings that everybody
Mhm.
would, admire.
Mhm.
But that was just not what I was looking for. Um, I didn't know what I was looking for. But I think my one of my main challenges was um, to be honest, was my age. I was 69 when I signed up for your program, and I didn't know if I had the stamina
Mm.
and the energy to create a new career from scratch.
And you did it. And it doesn't even have to be like a full career like careers looked when we were 20 or 30, right?
Absolutely right. And what I found out is that when you really enjoy something, the energy just comes.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't have said it better myself. We get energy from doing what we love. And
Yes,
when we're not doing what we love, it drains us. I'm so
exactly.
glad you said that. So you found energy for your art and you found time
I
for
did.
your art, right?
I did, and I'm expanding, and I'm doing scary things, like building a booth for next year. So,
For the
but I
farmer's
love
market.
it.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
The
Yeah, we have
farmers
to do
market.
things that scare us. Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about how far your confidence has come. Because you mentioned that you had really low confidence in the beginning. And what I've seen of you as we've worked together is that you've embraced keeping going even when you felt insecure. And you were just telling me you've even embraced paintings that you've made that you didn't like. So, what helped you really gain that confidence in yourself?
It was certainly a process, but in the program, you really emphasized how to overcome our fears, and boy, it it truly does work. You can, we're taught how to embrace our bad paintings and celebrate our good ones,
Yeah.
and we learn about self confidence and about how to take care of ourselves. And I think that is that's the key. I
Mhm.
didn't know you had to really learn how to take care of yourself in order to make your best art.
Yeah, it's our
And
job as artists.
yeah, and today, even if no one has anything good to say about my art, um, that doesn't matter anymore.
Which never happens, by the way. Nobody's going around saying bad things about your art, right?
Well, but I do get like where maybe they won't say anything about it, and
Mm.
that's almost just as bad. Right? It's like,
Yeah, but you're slowly finding your tribe. And here's the thing, once you put your art out there in the farmer's market and you start really getting it out and sharing it, which is your next step,
yes,
that's where you will start attracting your tribe and the people that love your art. And the people that, don't love your art, they'll just keep walking to the next booth. But this is where you'll really find the people that love your art. And I always say, like, it's a beautiful thing that we don't all have the same taste, right? Your friends don't necessarily have your shower curtain. They don't necessarily order the same thing you do at a restaurant. This is just life. Your art isn't going to be for everybody. And I want everybody out there to hear that. This is the thing. If that's holding you back, if you are true to yourself, like Nora has been, and she has painted what she truly loves, you will attract people that love your work when you put it out there. So I can't wait to hear what happens when you put it out there. What was the impact that this program had on you?
it had a huge impact on me in so many ways. The self confidence was huge. Of course, it was fun, learning everything, learning the mixed media. It was just so much fun. But I think the most important thing was how it changed my thinking and my mindset. That was huge. That
Mm.
was absolutely huge. Yes, I know that I'm skipping over so much because what I got from it was not only self-confidence, but I came from a place where I was stuck and I had no joy and I didn't know what to do, to a place where I love going into my art studio. I have forward movement
Mhm.
and I have serenity, and that's everything.
Mm.
And my art it keeps evolving, and I'm actually using my art practice now as like a spiritual practice and
Mhm.
as awakening,
Mhm.
and learning how to be looser was another huge thing.
Mhm.
It's still something that I struggle with and I work on all the time, but I did start getting looser thanks to you and the program. And just now I'm trying to remember when I do the art to let the art lead instead of
Let the
trying to
art
control.
lead. I love
Yes,
that. Yeah.
instead of trying to control it with technique, is to
Yeah.
let the art lead. So
Yeah. And I just want to mention, I mean, Nora did all this. She had all these wins because she made a lot of paintings. It doesn't come from sitting there and just thinking about it or watching a few videos. It comes from, yes, she learned a lot from the lessons I gave her, but then she applied those by making a bunch of paintings. And I always say that art is the next step after therapy, because therapy is wonderful, but you're just talking, right? And then art, you have to embed that knowledge into your muscle memory, and it becomes a part of who you are. Do you feel that now, Nora?
so much so. I just feel that like it's a way that I can finally start sharing with the world. Yes, I think that that's a huge part of it. Is that's what I one of my goals is to be able to make art that would help in some small way just embed, some the love of doing the art into the world, because the world today is just so it's so crazy, isn't it? And chaotic at the moment, and it's so rushed.
Oh, it's
Um,
so rushed. We have to really carve out our peace time.
yes, and boy, doing art, that's the best thing in the world for that.
Yes, and you get to do it the rest of your life, Nora. What a gift. What a gift, right?
Yes.
So, okay, did you have any doubts or fears or concerns when you were thinking about doing the program with me and committing to your art? Be honest. We want to hear them.
I did. I was really afraid because I was still in that, perfectionist mode of needing, that's what I learned of doing pretty art. And I didn't know if it was even possible to have my own style. I thought it was just meant for really, really talented artists out there, that they have their own style. It's like, I don't know, I didn't know if it was possible for me.
Hmm.
Um, but honestly, I was just when I came across you, Kelly, honestly, I was so every little thing that you said in the interview, it resonated so deeply. I was more excited than afraid. I
Oh,
really
good,
was.
good.
I was
That's
like,
so great. You have to want your dream more than your fear, right?
yes. And I was truly desperate to get help.
Mm.
And so it was like, wow, this is really an answer to my prayers. This is
Oh,
exactly what I'm looking for, a way to be looser, a way to find my own style, a way to bring back the joy.
yeah.
So I have a favorite poem by Christopher Logue
Uh-huh.
that goes, "Come to the edge," he said. "We can't, we're afraid," they responded. "Come to the edge," he said. "No, we will fall," they responded. "Come to the edge," he said. And so they came, and he pushed them,
Oh,
and they flew, and they flew. Thank you,
mm.
Kelly. Thank you
Mm.
for helping me to fly.
Nora, I have chills. And that is an incredible poem. You're gonna make me cry.
Well,
Oh my gosh, Nora, that is
but
so
that's
beautiful. Thank you for
thank
sharing
you.
that.
Thank
It's
you,
so
Kelly.
true. And I have to be really honest. I'm feeling this fear of myself right now because I'm writing my first book. And
Oh,
I
wow.
can really relate to what you're saying. It's terrifying. And it's so funny because I know how to do all that with painting because but starting something new, it's so scary and you have to want your dream more than your art and keep grounding ourselves down into that, right? Keep reminding ourselves until the dream is built and you built your dream. I'm so happy you're here, and I hope you women out there are inspired by Nora's story. She's so brave, and I want you to know your art is bigger than you. Like she said, once you start putting it out there, it lifts the world up. You don't know what one of your paintings is going to do for somebody. If it brings joy or happiness to one person, it's worth making and putting out there. So, if you're feeling the calling like Nora did, don't keep tucking it away for years because you're missing out on this higher level of joy and peace and creation that you could be having for the rest of your life. So, if that's you and you want to take this journey to unleash your art like Nora did, you are welcome to book a call with me like Nora did last year. And we'll jump on the phone and we'll talk about your art and see if we want to work together. And you can book that call at kellydayart.com/booking. Kelly with an IE, dayart.com/booking. And Nora, tell us where we can see your art.
You can see my art on Instagram, and it's at noramiller.art.
NoraMiller.art on Instagram. You guys check her out, give her a like and a love, send her a great comment. Nora, I just can't thank you enough for being here. I always am just so uplifted by your beautiful energy. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much. Love you.
I love you too. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.